Welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq. Joining me is Joe Tigay, Portfolio Manager at Equity Armor Investments. We're going to take a look at that value and rotation trade, value and growth rotation trade. And certainly we saw this reflective in the Nasdaq 100, haven't we, Joe?
Yeah, it's the name of the game again today. And if you're scratching your head saying, like, what is happening to turn on and off, make people change their minds so much on a day-to-day basis, week-to-week basis, I think for me, the answer is kind of simple. It's really based on what people think about yield and on the 10-year note. And if people assume that yields are going lower, their money is going into growth. If people assume that yields are going higher, their money is going into value. We're seeing that again today. 10 years up just 0.1 basis points, but we're seeing that little bit of rotation into value out of growth today.
So, Joe, going into tomorrow, what's the key event that you're going to be looking at?
Yeah, obviously everyone's watching this jobs number. The key, of course, is going to be, well, twofold. Number one, how strong is the economy? And that bleeds into how strong is inflation. And that leads us to guess as to what way the Fed's going to go and how fast they're going to do it. And if we see, I'm watching the 50-day moving average and the 10-year U.S. note. Whenever that note is above its 50-day moving average, I'm noticing value is in favor. Whenever it's below that 50-day moving average, I'm noticing growth is in favor. We're pretty close to that spot right now. So if I see the yields start to rise again, I'm thinking the market's going to be looking more towards value. Otherwise, I think growth is going to continue its run that it's had the past month.
All right, Joe, you spend a lot of time taking a look at volatility. As we go into the holiday week, and of course, markets are closed on Monday, July 5th, in observance of the July 4th holiday, how are traders positioning? Should they be lightening up in front of a three-day holiday weekend? Because not everyone around the world is closed.
It's very interesting. It's kind of a push and pull. Of course, we have an event happening tomorrow, and then we also have a reason for an event which could cause volatility to rise. And then, of course, like you mentioned, a three-day weekend is traditionally a time when we see people lightening volatility positions. So it's really a push and pull. The conventional wisdom is saying that after Friday, we're going to see volatility come into the three-day weekend. That usually is what happens. But like I said, we could see a volatility event, which we could see a volatility rise sharply into the three-day weekend.
Right, and plus this summer, and of course last summer, it's been a little bit different too. It's not the traditional summer mindset that we've seen, only because there has been more volatility into the market. We have a lot more retail participation. Perhaps it might be lighter on the desks this summer because people are vaccinated and able to travel now. So I feel like almost as we're thinking about inflation data points and what this can all look like, we're still readjusting to what the return to normal looks like.
Yeah, and things continue to change even as we speak. So yeah, that's critical. The volatility of the economic data is critical. The fact that we're getting a big economic data point tomorrow is critical. So all that's going into it. And like you've been mentioning, yeah, there is 24-hour trading. There is overseas trading. There is reasons for that three-day weekend effect to be a little bit dampened. That being said, most of the time I still expect to see, after this report comes out tomorrow, a little bit of a reduction in volatility, only for it to come back up on Tuesday when the market reopens.
All right. And on that note, Joe, enjoy your holiday weekend. Thanks for joining us on Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.
Thanks for having me.